Let's talk about you as a venture capitalist. I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head deals that I associate you with.
Yep.
Video Egg 6 Apart, they're now one.
Say Media.
Blippy is now like gone.
No, not at all.
Were they pivoted?
Not at all. Look, here's the thing. The thing that people associate with Blippy may not be the $1 billion idea.
Yeah.
But Blippy, this group of incredibly smart entrepreneurs is anything but gone. Actually, it turns out that Chris and Ashvin, who are the founders of Blippy, are some of the greatest. If you're talking about entrepreneurial athletes, like these guys are unbelievable, and you would back them. And so it's sort of like saying, well, gee, it's too bad that they didn't win that particular, World Series, but we'll see you next year.
Right.
So they're working on some really interesting stuff. They have a great team no one is leaving. They're really excited to be working with these guys, and they have enough money for the next 10 years or something. So. This idea that, it either works or it doesn't, and when it doesn't work, then it's a failure or whatever, kind of misunderstands the history of startups, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a lot, and we're seeing this a lot, right? Like, you have to bet on the ones that are the winners, and the losers are the losers, and
right.
And look, there will be some that are big winners, and it's exciting, and if you're an early investor in them, it's amazing, and congratulations. Right. But it turns out that there will be companies that are built over a period of time by really smart, hardworking entrepreneurs that build important stuff that people value. So, look, I will admit that apparently I was more interested in sharing my credit card purchases than the average person. I'm still sort of shocked by that, to tell you the truth, because I thought it was super fun.
Yeah.
But it's maybe a good example of don't invest in the things that you love,
right.
Because what you need to do is find out the things that are compelling more broadly. That's fine. The good news is that I really.
But I think someone needed to test that assumption. We wouldn't have known.
Yeah. No, it was great.
I mean, Alexi wrote a story on TechCrunch about, we were too pro Blippy. I don't think we were. I mean, looking back at the coverage, it's, again, really, really smart entrepreneurs trying something that is completely crazy. Like, what, just because of the outcome?
Yeah,
we shouldn't have.
Thank you. That's exactly right. Because there have been lots of Twitter-like things that people tried and didn't work.
Right.
And so what?
I mean, how many times did social networks not work with Facebook?
Exactly. Look at Mark Pincus. He had one of those.
Right.
So he's not a failure by virtue of the fact that Tribe.net didn't succeed, and social networking wasn't a bad idea because Friendster didn't end up succeeding.
Right.
Right. So the good news is that as a general matter, at August Capital, our focus is bet on people we really like who are gonna build great stuff. And then hopefully they do, right? And a disproportionate amount of time, they actually end up building pretty interesting stuff. And so as a VC, that's sort of all you can do. So you mentioned, 6 Apart and Video Egg, they're now together. Well, it's a huge company.
Yeah.
Say Media is a many tens of millions of dollars of business.
How big their revenues are.
Right?
Would you like to share that with our readers? It's like 50 million.
No,
right?
it's well more than that. It is
like
well
million?
more than that.
By a conservative estimate, this company's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes, there isn't any question. It is orders of magnitude larger than the things that think they're competing with Say Media, right?
Yeah.
So people are focused on other things, and if they want to undervalue that or whatever, that's fine. But the reality is these were teams of people who were focused on very clear things. So Video Egg was about bringing real value to brand advertisers. How do you create a better brand experience across the social media infrastructure? And then 6 Apart was about how do you build the best possible engagement experience for bloggers, and ultimately for passion-based media across 160 million uniques or whatever. And when you put those things together, you have a very big, interesting business that ends up being, I think, the paradigm for the next generation of digital media companies. So, eventually people will look and go, holy cow, how did that get to be such a big business?
So
But-
are they your most exciting company now? Who gets you out
I
of bed
don't
in the
know.
morning?
I mean, they're great. They're a fabulous company, and I love the people involved. I have this enterprise software company called Splunk that I funded. That were three, really smart engineers who said you should take log files and figure out how to correlate them and manage systems. And it's I don't know, is it a $100 and something million business this year? I guess we'll see. But it is a big business. Companies are getting a ton of value. And the people building it are worried about creating value for companies and doing a better job of system debugging and all these things. You go, well, what is that? Who cares about that stuff? Well, they're just doing a good job. So, love all my children is the same, but the ones that are going to make more than 100 million.
Which was your favorite kid?
Did I? My kid, yeah, that was my
Yes.
daughter. Yeah, well, of course she's my favorite. She's still my favorite. But I'll tell you what, if my son Julian wins a Tony, he gets to be my favorite for that week.
So it's up to the Tony jury.
Yeah, exactly. When Noah starts that for the next Facebook, he can be my favorite for a week.
So only for a week, though.
Yeah.